In this series, we will investigate different aspects of the cannabis industry as Illinois prepares to welcome a new crop. On August 1st, 2013, Governor Pat Quinn signs a bill that made medical marijuana legal in Illinois. In Colorado, legalized medical and recreational marijuana use was passed by voter initiatives, but both states are in a legal gray area because they have legalized a substance that remains illegal under federal law. Sam Kamen is a law professor at the University of Denver, and he has studied the issue.
I talk to a lot of lawyers that work with marijuana clients, and they say the first thing out of their mouths is, this is all the conduct we're talking about is criminal. You could go to jail, you could lose all your assets, and we have this big industry that's cash only because the banks won't deal with it, that all the assets can be seized, and the people that are involved in it can be sent to prison. And when you talk about investment, that's a huge barrier to investment, obviously. If you're in the business, it's particularly complicated. The tax consequences are very difficult. You have to pay federal income tax on it, and you can't take any of the deductions that a normal business would be able to take. The banks won't lend to marijuana businesses, and they won't even let them do the sort of commercial banking services that most businesses take for granted. There's just lots of problems, all of which stem from the fact that it's still a federal crime. People will lose their jobs, lose their benefits. There's lots of concern that as long as the federal government criminalizes this conduct, that can be used to take away some benefit.
And it is awkward in that federal agents, any amount of marijuana is illegal. Any conspiracy to distribute marijuana is illegal. But for the state of Colorado and for local law enforcement, we're still bound by the Colorado Constitution as well. So we work through those nuances.
I mean, I think the bottom line is the point of this, whether it's medical or recreational, is to take out of a black market system, this product, and put it into a regulated space.
One of the biggest pieces, and Washington State has been grappling with this, is the black market. So right now, if you want to buy marijuana in Illinois, you have to break the law. You want to focus all those people into the regulated and taxed market. Regulated and taxed is more expensive, so it's always going to be difficult to eliminate the black market. A big concern becomes, we have great regulations, are we implementing them? Have we allocated enough money and enough resources to make sure that we're actually keeping track of what's happening?
My belief is that there is an increased interest by the drug trafficking organizations in what's happening here in Colorado. I don't think they're going to go away. If you are growing the same quality of marijuana, many people are going to say, why am I going to go to a commercial recreational marijuana dispensary and spend this amount of money with the taxes when I can get it much cheaper over here from the black market?
The black market, to a certain degree, still exists in Colorado. Why does it exist, or where is it coming from? And frankly, we have a committee set up to look at tangentially that very issue.
Yeah, we are the first ones to have done this, so we have a lot of lessons learned. The recommendations that I've made to out-of-state law enforcement that I've talked to is, to the best of your ability, try to set all of this up prior to the first marijuana plant being cultivated and the first commercial medical sale being made. Get your regulators on board, get them trained. I think what Illinois will find, if you guys have already got the regulations set up and all of that set up prior to the implementation, it'll go a lot smoother for you.
Well, it sounds like Illinois has a non-centralized system, so there will be access to medical, but it'll be very localized to a certain jurisdiction. In contrast to Colorado, we basically have clusters of dispensaries and clusters of grow operations. It seems like that's going to be a lot better way to approach distribution in Illinois. I'm not sure you're going to see a whole lot of change, especially if Illinois does it right.
One of the concerns that I have as a police chief in the future, are the drug cartels and the drug trafficking organizations going to start to get more involved in the commercial, medical, and recreational businesses as far as using those businesses as ways to launder money?
The biggest piece that we can offer from Colorado to Illinois or anyone else is to just be partners in this. We want to continue to have that dialogue amongst all the states and try to learn what the best way to enter into this endeavor is. And so I think we're always happy to talk about what we did, but we want to learn from other states as well. Frankly, I think the states have always been the laboratories of democracy, and it's going to be a domino effect where the federal government may change its policy.
As we move toward half the people in the country living in states where marijuana is legal for some purposes, the fact that marijuana remains a prohibited substance, is treated like heroin or LSD under federal law, has got to change. That we can't keep living in this world where this thing is legal or legal for some purposes in Illinois or Colorado or Washington, but is completely prohibited at the federal level. That disconnect is just going to have to be fixed one way or the other.